What up, dude? Well, welcome to Lunchtime Detroit Lions Talk, brought to you by Detroit Lions on the Prowl and Lions Nation Unite. It's your man, Curt Steele. Today is Monday, October 31st, 2022. Happy Halloween, and welcome to It Happened Again Monday, man. It's just me and my man, Coach Jones, today. But I digress, man. On deck for today's show, we recap another heartbreaking loss for the Lions, 31-27 to the Dolphins. Coach Jones and I break down the offense. Man, of course, you know, he takes the defense, and I name my bossed up, ball out, and balled on players of the game. But before we get into all that, man, let me bring in my co-host for the day, man. It is coming off that big win for the Maize and Blue on Sunday. It is who?
It's the Wolverine, Coach Mike Jones. What's going on, Lion fan?
Let's get this thing started
right now.
Let go.
It's Detroit Lions Talk, baby.
Welcome to Detroit.
All right, welcome back to the show, people. And we got a whole gang of stats to get kicked off. So, Curt, let's get it kicked off, man. Let them know what these stats is looking like.
Man, y'all know how we do on Monday, how we get down. Let's get into these stats, man, before we break down that offense and defense, like my man Coach Jones said, man. All right, first downs. Dolphins had 27, we had 22. Passing first downs 18-13, and in favor of the Dolphins, 8 and 7 first downs on the ground. That is also in favor of the Miami Dolphins. First downs for penalties, we had 2, they had 1. Third down efficiency, 8 for 12 for those guys over there in Miami. 4 for 9 for us. Fourth down, 1 for 1, and then 1 for 2 for us. Well, I don't know what the hell Jared Goff was throwing the ball down the field. We could have just checked down for a first down on 4 for 2. But right. I digress. 64 plays for them, 57 plays for us, 476 yards total for them, 393 for us, which probably most of that came in the first half. 8 drives for both teams, 7.4 yards per play for the Dolphins, 6.9 for us. So it's kind of pretty even. 369 yards passing for them, which Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle made it most of that. 311 yards passing for the Lions. 29-36 for Tua. 27-37 for Goff. Pretty even. Yards per pass play, 9.7 to 8.2. Interceptions thrown. Neither one team threw interceptions. We sacked Tua twice. They sacked Jared Goff one time. Rushing yards, 107-82. Rushing attempts, 26-19. 4.1 yards per rush for the Dolphins, 4.3 for the Lions. Red zone, 3 for 3 for the Dolphins, 3 for 4 for the Lions. Penalties, which it could have been a lot more for the Dolphins if we accepted more. They got like 6 or 7 penalties that the Lions declined, like 7 for 55 for the Dolphins and 6 for 30 for the Lions. They had a turnover, a lost fumble. No interceptions for either team, no defensive touchdowns for either team or special teams touchdowns. They controlled the ball 34 minutes and 22 seconds, and most of that's probably in the second half. We had the ball 25 minutes, but we scored pretty fast in the first half.
Yeah.
If you look at this game as a whole, man, I mean, y'all watched it. It's pretty much what I expected in the first half. Both teams scored on every possession. The Lions not scoring a single point in the second half was just disappointing. You know, just one touchdown. One touchdown in the second half would have won the game for the Lions. That's it. I think the Lions forgot where the end zone was in the second half. What you got, Coach?
The halftime adjustments got to be better. Whatever we're seeing at halftime and adjustments we're making on offense and on defense has to be better. There's nothing that really, like, I can't really complain about the first half. First half, we were actually more of the explosive team. We were gashing them off. And then the second half, they gashed us off. I mean, that's basically what it was. It was just chunk plays made by both teams, and we own the first half, they own the second half, and that's just the way that the cookie crumbles, I guess. So yeah, man, Yeah, man. I don't know, man. That's another winnable game though against a good team. The Philadelphia Eagles, the Miami Dolphins. Those are good teams, good top of the line teams that we fall short against, and then we do stuff like lose to the Patriots and get blew out in New England when Justin Fields go there and mollywop them. So I don't know, man.
Yeah, it's one of those things where I was just like, I look at that game yesterday, I was like, it's just kind of more than I thought it was. It was like, because they did what I said they should have done when we did the game preview. I said, hey, you pass against the Dolphins, you pass to set up the run. If you do that, and they would continue to do that in the second half, even if you had to make, like you said, but we'll get into the offensive defensive breakdown, but here in a second. But you know what I'm saying? Hey, man, shout out to my man LL today. He wasn't feeling well, so it's just me and my man Coach hanging out today. Hey, he wasn't feeling well, so hey, man, get better soon, man. I had that injury bug myself a couple of weeks ago, so man, get better, come back, man. Hopefully we can get you back on tomorrow or as soon as possible. But man, rest up. If you like the video, share the video, comment on the video. You know we on that march to 4,000, but it starts with you guys. So if you haven't done so already, subscribe to the channel, like the video, share the video, and leave a comment. Now leave a comment with the family discussion topic for today. What adjustments can be made to the Lions secondary? That's an easy thing because that was our issue yesterday. The Lions secondary was terrible yesterday. So what adjustments can be made to the Lions secondary? Leave us a comment in the comment section of the video, man, or just whatever else you throw thoughts about the game. But the family discussion topic for today is what adjustments can be made to the Lions secondary. Now, let's go ahead, man, and get into the review of the recap of the Lions offense versus the Miami Dolphins, man. If you look at this game as a whole, the first half, let's just take it at that. First half, like you said, they've got chunk plays. You got Swift getting involved. You got Swaggy getting involved. Amon-Ra St. Brown. You got Hawk running down the field. Khalif Raymond making big plays. And it was just a firestorm of offense. The Lions scored on every possession in the first half. Even had the fake punt to set up the field goal at the end of the first half to go up by 10 points at the end of the first half, 27-17. I'm like, okay, if we score one touchdown, we could be good. And I don't know what the hell happened. Because here's my deal with the young fella, Ben Johnson. He has to learn how to make halftime adjustments to ensure the team can put up points in the second half. Teams are going to make adjustments to stop your success, Ben Johnson. If you're having success in the first half, they're going to get in that locker room, making adjustments. But what you got to learn how to do is learn how to counterpunch to have a sustained level of success. What does that mean? You have to counter what the counter is. Okay, they're taking this away. So what do you do? What matchup can you exploit in a different way to make sure that we have a sustained level of success on offense? Okay, if they're taking away Amon-Ra St. Brown, okay, move them around, shift them around. If you have to change the running format, formations, change the formations, do something different to get the defense off balance so you can take advantage of the same matchups, because the matchups are pretty much the same. The people are the same. You can take advantage. You just got to do it in a different way because they countered what you did in the first half to shut it down in the second half. So I just don't understand the halftime adjustments for the Lions and Dan Campbell and Ben Johnson on the offensive side of the ball. We know they kind of handcuff on defense. There's not a lot they can do, especially against a team like Miami with against those guys. But yeah, it was one of those things where I wish Ben Johnson could definitely make more adjustments and learn how to counterpunch against good team, because their defense, their passing defense could be had. We know they could because we put up all the numbers, and most of it was in the first half. I just think it was a poor decision on that 4th and 2 by Jared Goff to throw the ball down the field to Josh Reynolds, man. You check it down, you keep the drive alive, man. You had Hawk and you had Swift on the sideline. You throw it to Swift, he got a made-in block with TJ Hockenson. That's a first down right there. That's 2 yards right there that could be had. Swift can make somebody miss and get 2 yards.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, because I just don't understand the premise of going deep. Our defense hasn't stopped anybody in the second half. We haven't stopped Miami at all in the second half. So why leave it up to the defense, man? You keep the offense on the field. Goff, you got to make a better decision, brother. What you got on the offense, man?
you know what, to kind of caveat off that a little bit, Jared Goff pissed me off, man. And it's not because Jared Goff was so horrible, because he was pretty good that game. It's
Hmm.
because if Jared Goff would have played like that, we would have two more victories under our but we you know what I'm saying? We would be 3-4 right now.
Hmm.
Um, if Jared Goff just played just like that, even just level out. Like he didn't do too much, he didn't do too little. He just kept everything afloat, man. And but you know what? One thing I was afraid of, and it did happen, is we did get away from the run game.
Hmm.
Um, and that's what I feared, because we can't go chunk play for chunk play with the Miami Dolphins. Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill are two different monsters that
Hmm.
we're not ready for. That's probably the number 1-1-2 combo receiving tandem in the NFL. Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle. I don't know two receivers that are better. Maybe I'm missing it, but explosive, and route running. Them two take the cake, man. And in the second half, we just couldn't stop them. Like we could not stop it, man. They was both chunking us off, man. And
Hmm.
yeah, man. It's just
Yeah.
yeah.
I, I get what you're
Mm,
saying about with the run game. But like I said, you would have short to intermediate passing, then you set up the run game where you bring this, you start putting more safeties on the field because they can't stop the pass. Then you start running the ball. And they did that in the first half because that's how they scored a couple of touchdowns. Look at Swaggy, down there at the goal line scoring 2 touchdowns. He did his thing. I mean, he even had Swift on the option route down there. But it was
I
just one of
was
those things where I was just like, what are we doing on offense in the second half? I'm
right.
just not. We just have more, stall drives, and my thing is like you brought Swift back, but
Exactly.
you use him a little bit in the first half, but you didn't use him again in the second half to like later in the game. I'm like, what the hell? You got the guy at your disposal, man. I know you don't want to overuse him, but you got to have him on the
Right.
field, man. I don't know what that was,
Yeah,
but
that was one of the adjustments I think that could have been made in the second half, was to
mhm.
get DeAndre Swift more involved in running the ball, more involved in the pass game. You could have had him more slot receivers, because their defense is horrible. So
Mhm.
you could have had Swift running behind them linebackers, or had Swift on wheel routes up the sideline. Like there's just
Yeah,
things that I
it
think
was,
that we
yeah.
left.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we
but
definitely left some plays on the field, man. Hey, if you like the content, man, like the video, share the video, comment on the video. Let us know what you thought about the offensive performance on Sunday, man. Hey, if you're gonna get yourself some Lions gear, because I know it's gonna be on sale in a minute, go on over to fanatics.com. Links in the description below, man. Christmas is coming up. So, we still gonna rock our Lions, man. So go ahead and get yourself some Lions gear at fanatics.com. Links in the description. If you have a Lions fan or a Michigan fan in your family, or go ahead and get yourself some Lions gear and Wolverines gear at at fanatics.com. If you want to get yourself some Wolf and Lion gear, because we had the big win over Sparta this weekend, my
yeah,
man Coach Jones got you hooked up, man, over there
two
at
games, one shit.
wolverlive.com, man. Yeah, hey, so go ahead and get yourself some Wolf and Lion gear over there down at wolverlion.com. Check us out on Lions Nation Unite, man. It's the ultimate virtual hangout for Detroit Lions fans. And while you're over there, get some LNU gear at lnushop.com. Get the authentic Lions Nation Unite gear right there in the LNU shop. Don't get the fake stuff over there on Facebook. Go to Detroit Lions on the Prowl for more content from us. And while you're over there, get that Prowl Nation gear at lionsontheprowlshop.com. Man, we're ending the crucial catch month in the NFL. Sunday was the last day because we're doing the salute service in November that comes up here tomorrow. But get yourself some cancer awareness gear. Go to rollup.com, man, and a portion of the proceeds from that sales by my man Big Lion, man, go to help the American Cancer Society of Michigan. So go check that stuff out, man. It's still a crucial catch month, man. Don't wait to October to get yourself screened for cancer, man. Do it year round
Yeah.
to make sure you're taking care of yourself for your loved ones, man. But with all that being said, let's kind of get back to the show, man. Coach Jones, holler at me about this defense, man.
Man. The defense, actually, you know what? I'm gonna tell you what surprised me. We played better in cover 2 man than we
Mhm.
did in straight zone. And I think we reverted to playing more zone in the second half, and we got ate up. Um, letting them guys catch the ball. You know what? I'm gonna start by saying Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle are way better route runners than we give them credit for.
Yeah.
There's many times, there's different plays where Tyreek Hill broke his route off and found a hole in the defense. I know those weren't all designed for him to just go and then for the gap in the defense. Those are the routes that he adjusted mid route. And yeah, but we could have got more pressure on Tua, way more pressure on Tua. But I think our game plan was so coverage based. It was so, we gotta get back. And I think we should have attacked more. We should have attacked more with our front four, sending linebackers, maybe sending a safety or sending a corner. We should have mixed up the blitzes, man. And because we're one of the most blitzing teams in the NFL. And I think we should have stayed doing that. Actually, our DB, you know what? I'm gonna give our DBs props. And you're like, what the hell? Because you know what I realized? Our DBs can play man coverage. We played pretty good cover 2 man in the first half.
Yeah, we did. I had to say that we did.
And I'm like, damn, really? With Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle? So we got better athletes at cornerback than what I thought. So I think that we actually need to trust them more. Trust them more with they cover skills, man, because they actually are pretty decent when they play man. But we just should have got more pressure on them, man. We should have brought a couple more blitzes, man, and just stayed true to ourselves and not play coverage so much and just allowed them to kind of dink and dunk and get chunk plays because we couldn't stop them in the second half. They was chunking us off, man. Like they say on the streets, man, that boy, he was chunking them off over there on the corner. Yeah, man, that's I mean, that's what it was. We couldn't stop them in the second half. They was gashing us up, and it's just hard to do, man. I don't know what you got, Curt.
All right. So just to be honest with you, that defense, man, I like you said, the first half we played good. And here is the deal that a lot of us people really like. The Lions were missing, even though we had good play in the secondary in the first half, the Lions were missing 4 DBs yesterday. 4 DBs, including 2 starters, which Deshaun Elliott, which is starting safety, and the starting slot corner, Mike Hughes. I don't think it would have made a lot of difference, but it probably would have because you have some veteran leadership on the field. And you know how to, and they would have been, directing the adjustments in the coverage. If you look at it, and you had Deshaun Elliott, Mike Hughes, Chase Lucas, and Iffy that were all out yesterday. I mean, and just those 2 with Deshaun Elliott and Mike Hughes, man, that makes a hell of a difference when you have your veteran leadership. We didn't have any veterans playing in that back end of the secondary. You say, well, Juju Hughes, but Juju Hughes. Harris. Man, if you ask them, shut the hell up with that. That's crap, man. But the D line, man, they get, like you said, they gave Tua way too much time. I mean, I like those few sacks, the couple sacks that we had, especially with Rodrigo doing his thing. But that youth for the secondary showed up yesterday, man. It's just that young, and it's not really about age, man, because it's lack of playing time too against top-notch receivers. You got Juju Hughes, man. He's been in the league for a few years, but he wasn't, he's not a really starter. You know what I'm saying? He's a rotational player. And you have a guy like, Kirby Joseph. Now he's doing his thing. Dude caused another fumble yesterday, man. That dude laying the lumber. I'm liking what I'm seeing from the young fella, Kirby Joseph. So shout out to Val's Illini, who we'll see, the Wolverines will see in a couple weeks. But definitely shout out to some of those young guys. They held their water as long as they could. But of course, Mike, Mike, I can't forget his name, the coach of the Dolphins, man, because he's their offensive coordinator, man. He made some adjustments, man, and he made sure he got those guys open. And they said those are guys are great route runners, man. You look at that, all their passing yards, man. It was mostly just those two cats. You had Saseki caught a couple passes, a couple other guys caught passes, but you had Waddle and Tyreek Hill, man. That was almost 300 yards of receiving right there. I mean, and say what you will, some of those things, those underthrown balls, man, Tyreek Hill saved Tua because some of those, a couple of those passes should have been intercepted because he definitely underthrew that cat.
He had to come back to get him.
So, shout out to those guys, man. Definitely should have got more pressure on Tua, man. I think we held our own as far as the run game. We held them to 107, so that's right around what their average is, and that's not bad. That's not bad, and as far as the run defense is concerned, because actually Tua had a couple big runs. He was, like Raheem Mostert didn't get on fire and like that, and this is actually just torches. But
I think he had 60-something yards.
Yeah, so it wasn't a dominate running performance, but that passing game for them, and we said this though, we didn't want to see a track meet with those guys, man, and that's exactly what we got in the second half of them. I don't understand. I put this more on our offense because we should have scored. If we'd have scored at least one touchdown in the second half, we could have won the game. Yeah. That would have made 34-31 Lions. That's what it is, man. But
game planning, man.
Yeah, coulda, shoulda, woulda. But you know how it goes, man. Hey, man, thank you, Josh, for checking us out right here on Detroit Lions on the Prowl, your home for Detroit Lions news and rumors, man. Hey, make sure you follow us on your favorite social media platforms, man. Hopefully, my man LL can get healthy enough for Thursdays coming up here in a few days, man, because you know how he rocks it on Thursday. So yeah, man, follow us on Facebook and TikTok and Instagram, man. Follow us. The links on the page right now, man. So go check us out over there at your favorite social media platforms, man. And thank you for joining us right here on Detroit Lions on the Prowl, your home for Detroit Lions news and rumors. Now it is time for the Boss Up, Balled Out, and Balled On players of the game, man. Woo. All right. First up, we got for the offense, we got my man Jamal Williams, big swaggy. My man had 10 carries to 53 yards, 5.3 yards per average, and 2 touchdowns. I believe he puts this up in some rare air, man. I think he has 4 2-touchdown games, which is second to only Barry Sanders in a season. So if he goes one more game where he has 2 rushing touchdowns, he will tie in a season. He would tie Barry Sanders' record for games with multiple rushing touchdowns for a season for 2. So shout out to my man Swaggy for doing his thing. For defense, we got the young fella, man. Rodrigo did his thing, man. He had 7 tackles yesterday, 1 tackle for loss, a sack, and a pass breakup. So shout out to the young fella. He is my defensive boss up and balled out player of the game, man. Go ahead, young fella. Do your thing. He had a day. If we'd have blitzed him more, we probably had another sack. And my balled on players of the game. Take a big guess who that is. The Lions secondary, man. They got balled on, man. That ain't their fault though, man, because that doggone those guys have put it on plenty of good, even quality secondaries. So Miami, they have put it on plenty of guys with Waddle and Tyreek Hill, the cheetah, man. So, but that's my bossed up, balled out, and balled on players of the game, man. Whew. Hey. All right, now let's get into the comment cards, man. It's time for us to zip our lip today. We have an abbreviated comment card section, man. I'm going to go first, man, because this is my favorite segment of the show. Hey, Joseph Murdoch, man, the law firm, you know his name, Joseph Murdoch & Associates. He said, always a great show. Enjoy the game. I enjoyed the first half, but I did not enjoy the second half. What you got, Coach?
Maniac Sports. What's going on, Tim? He said, Mike Jones, you just brought the maniac in me. I'm a redhead. Just playing, man. This is the same, man. Come on, I got love for redheads, and I love everybody, man. Shout out to Tim, though, man.
Yeah, and Lyle Scholes, man. Lyle Scholes said the key to victory would be a high percentage passes, and we did that in the first half, man. But we just couldn't get that thing going after halftime. But that is your comment card section for today, man. Now it is time for everyone else's favorite segment, man. It's Dessert with your man Curt, brought to you by Delightful Bites. Custom cookies and desserts for any occasion. If you like how they look, you'll love how they taste. Man, go on over to the Facebook page. Link in the description below. If you don't do the Facebook thing, Go over to Delightful Bites on TikTok and Instagram. Just type in Delightful Bites, and you'll see all that beautiful dessert footage. Delightful Bites. Get your cookie on. The Detroit Lions announced that Barry Sanders will get a bronze statue at Ford Field in 2023. Man, that is awesome. He's way past time. And you know who should be right after him? Because it should be Barry, and then it should be Calvin. So it should be Barry and Calvin should have a trophy, should have some statues right outside Ford Field, man. But Barry Sanders should definitely be up first, man. And congratulations to him for getting a statue. The Lions organization, man, thank you for stepping up. Sheila Hamp, about time we recognize one of the greatest to ever do it. To me, he is the greatest running back of all time. So shout out to Barry Sanders, man, for getting that honor, man. Hey, man. Have some coffee with your dessert, man. Grand 012. Go ahead, Coach. You have something to say?
No, I was just saying, man, just about time Barry got his just due, man. I think he gets forgotten in Lions Nation, not by us, but by the organization. I'm glad the organization has finally stepped up and put Barry where he needed to be. That's out front, man.
Yeah, man. All right, let's take a quick walk on over to that Wall of Fame, man. First up, we got my man Detroit Drew. Everything came, man. If you do the Pistons content, man, if you watch the Pistons as well, go check those two guys out, man. I should have got a good recap of the last night's victory for the Pistons over the Golden State Warriors. We got my man Timmy Birch in the building, Shannon the Insano, Dan Spanos. Happy birthday to Dan. Had birthday the other day, man. So happy birthday to Dan Spanos. And Benny Siegel is in the building. For our silver members, we got my man Dale in the house, Kirkland Pratt, John Martin, and Cap Ice Cold. For our gold members, you know, our gold members, man, we hang out on Wednesdays at 3:00. My man Michael Huck, Mr. Reliable, was in the building, along with my man Paul Giroux, the jazzy one. Lady Lionel Dude back here, always hanging out. North End Ken, just in the D, and the Dr. Detroit. He is always in. To become a member of the Wall of Fame, click that join now button in the description. Now it's time for final thoughts for today's show. My man, my mellow Coach Mike, get on the mic because you know you be jello.
Yeah. Shout out to LL. Yeah, you know what? The Lions secondary is not as bad as we think they are. I think they should play a lot more man. I think that'll serve us just due in the future. The cover two man, I really like that defense. Golf, man. Can we get some consistency? You can't take 2 games off. You can't take 2 games off and then come back and play. You know, you had a pretty good game yesterday. Besides 1 or 2 decisions I think you could have made, which, you know, can be left up in the air because, you know, when it's game time and you win that moment, you don't really see it like you see it when you watch it on TV or you watch it from the stadium. So just golf, man, just more consistent play, man. And we will be fine. You know, so just, I mean, I said it. I predicted us to get beat by more than what we got beat by. So you know what? Just that was a good goal, man. We just gotta make better adjustments, man. Come out next week, and you know, like Dan Campbell said, you know, man, we're just gonna come out next week. We're gonna go to practice, man. We're just gonna do it all over again.
All right, my final thoughts for today's show is, man, the silver lining for me for yesterday for the Lions losing is that Green Bay lost, and so did the Bears. So hey, misery loves company, man, and I love the fact that we're playing a kind of a woeful Packers team next week, man. So shout out to those teams that beat those 2 teams yesterday, man, to the Buffalo Bills and to the New York Giants, man. Not New York Giants, I'm sorry. To the Dallas Cowboys for handling that business, man. And the NFC East is back, man. We're looking like the NFC East this year. Woo! Yeah. The NFC North is looking kind of bad, man. So, but you know, and we're the worst of the bunch right now. But you know, I'm staying consistent. Still got some winnable games, and we just got to get healthy. Health is a concern for me. You know what I'm saying? We can't win. You know what I'm saying? You can't have a sustained level of success because you're playing backup players, man, and backup players are good for spot duty, but not for the same levels of high play. And you know, we lost our starting safety for the year. Kirby Joseph is coming around, but then you take out the guy who's been making a lot of big plays in that secondary, was Deshaun Elliott, and that just has an effect, especially losing veteran leadership like that. It's gonna have an effect, man. And it's not an excuse, it is what it is. You have a lot of young players, and especially in that second, it's just, you look at the youth on this team, man. We have a nice young base, but they got to learn how to win together, and they haven't done that. They haven't done that so far. Once we can learn how to get together, man, we could be a dangerous team. We learn how to win together. We learn how to win together, the team will be dangerous. All right. With all that being said, man, hey, man, thank you guys for checking us out right here on Detroit Lions on the Prowl. Yo, home for Detroit Lions news and rumors, man. It's Monday. The grind starts today, man. Hey, if you're getting overwhelmed at work, woosah, take a deep breath, man. Take a step back, get refocused, and get back at it. If you need help, ask for it, man. Still, like I said, we're still in that crucial catch month, October, where we doing the cancer awareness, man. So ladies, get your mammograms. Fellas, get that prostate check. And everyone, if you're middle-aged, make sure you get that colon check, man. Don't be susceptible to that silent killer that is cancer. Man, thank you guys for joining us right here on Detroit Lions on the Prowl. Y'all home for Detroit Lions news and rumors, man. Hey, you're finishing your lunch, man. Go ahead, the napkin. Wipe them crumbs off your face, man. Finish your drink and get back to work, baby. And whatever you're doing in life, you got to boss up, ball out, and be the best version of you that you can be. For my fella, Coach Mike, and LL is at home healing up, man. This is Curt Steele, and we will holla at you real soon. We love you, Jim.